Hi guys, this is Puppy UK and I'm going to give you a brief tutorial on your first steps in EVE. So just a couple of things you want to do as soon as you get in the game, just to get your character off on the right lines and to get you progressing through the game. First thing you're going to want to do, now you may not understand all this at the moment, don't worry, trust me, just get it done and we'll cover it all later on. Open up your character sheet here on the left hand side. You may well see it like this. Just click your character sheet and the first thing you're going to do is go to your attributes window here. Now what this is the different attributes that your character has, which affects how quickly or how slowly you learn the different skills. So what you're then going to do is click the Remap Now button. Now this character has been remapped. Now you'll probably start off with something that looks a little bit like that. And what you're going to want to do is bring the charisma down, because you don't really need charisma unless you're looking to start running a corporation or specifically going in as a trade character. You don't really need charisma. And because you're new to the game, you're going to want to give yourself a balance of the main attributes so that you can learn the general areas at a reasonable speed. So what you're going to want to do is add one additional point to perception and one additional point to memory, like we had when we first started, and then save the changes. So you want to keep intelligence and memory and perception and willpower even quite balanced. They're the two primary and secondary skill groups, and most skills require both of either intelligence and memory or perception and willpower. And the perception and the memory are predominantly the primary attribute for those. So just set those two settings and save the changes, and that will then remap your character to give you a little bit of a faster skill train. The second thing you're going to want to do is get a skill training. The only way your character progresses in this game is when you start training skills. So back into your character sheet, click on your skills. Now I would advise you to get into these learning skills as soon as possible, but you need to be able to buy those. So we'll go into that when we get into the market, which is one of the tutorials we've got coming up. So for now, go into Spaceship Command and start training up the frigate skill that you're learning. Just right click on it, train now, and that will get a skill running in. Or maybe if you know where you want to go, maybe you're looking definitely to go into as a mining character, open up the industry and start training your mining up. Just get a skill training so that your character is progressing somewhat. You can open up your training queue and add a couple of skills in. So I can maybe add first of all my Amarr frigate, and that will take up 8 or so hours, and then I can start adding in my industrial mining there, and I can add that in as well. And you can add multiple trains in, so you're not going to just stop training at the end. You always want to have your character training something. Mechanic, there's another one in, engineering, go. Just add those in so it's taking up some time. Now if you can, you want to try and make sure that the last skill that you train is as long as possible. So there's a day, 2 days there to train Amarr Frigate 4. And that's going to mean that if I do go away or I forget to train my skills, I've got one here that's going to be training for a few days. So if I forget, it's not the end of the world. Then go ahead and apply those settings and your character's going to start learning stuff. And that's how you get on. Once you've got that done, at that point you can start going through the tutorial. Now this character's been loaded before. You should get a tutorial window down here in the bottom corner. Start looking through that. If you don't get that window, just click the undock button, and when you get into space you'll get a tutorial pop up there and start following through that. And that's your first steps in EVE, that's your character progressing, and then whatever you do, following through the tutorials, wherever you go from there, at least your character's starting to move in the right direction. And that's your first steps in EVE.